I am officially live and we have somebody here, but I can't see what any of you are saying to me. Well, this is good. Go live now. View on the wall. How do we do this? I'm live now. View on the watch page so I can see what people are saying. There we go. So swift and majestic. Thank you, Dara. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You're going to Canada Games? Can. Evening, lol monster 87. Oh, okay. So you can all hear me. Start asking any questions that you've got. Hello, Christopher Franklin. Chipotes? You run today in the snow? No, I didn't run today in the snow. I swam today. We ran on Saturday in the snow. That was a little bit chilly, but it was actually like minus 13 Celsius. That's like the perfect temperature. So everyone can hear me. That's good. Am I going to Canada Games to interview triathletes? I don't know if anyone wants to be interviewed at the Canada Games. We'll see how it goes. If there are people that do want to be interviewed, yeah, like, of course. I'm a little bit old and creepy, though, for the Canada Games folks. Aloha, Mike A. Oh, Mike, are you in... Where are you? In Hawaii? Hey, it's Danielle. Hey. Hello from Denmark. Yes. What do I have planned for 2017? Okay, we'll get into that. I have a couple of things planned for 2017. Triathlon-wise, I want to do a triathlon at the end of March in Mexico. It's the half Ironman in Campeche. It's the first time they've done that race. And then after that, I'm starting a, hey Pasco, I'm starting a build for a really long marathon swim down the Red River in Winnipeg. It's 39 kilometers, and we're thinking it's going to take us about 9 hours. And we will do that swim, I'm thinking like beginning of July, maybe July 7th or so. Oh, you're maybe going. Oh, cool. I think it's in July that we're going to be doing this 39 kilometer swim. And the idea of it is the Red River in Winnipeg is quite dirty. Now, a lot of people think that it's unsafe and that we'll get sick, but there have been some tests that have actually confirmed that the Red River is pretty safe. So the reason for us to do this is because I'm sure a lot of you triathletes, when you talk about doing triathlons, your friends and family say, oh my God, that's so cool, but I could never do that. They say kind of the same thing about going in the Red River. Oh, you should never do that because they think it's dirty. The point of swimming in such a dirty river is to prove that even though a lot of people think that something can't be done, that you can do it. So it's a bit of an analogy for getting fit and healthy. After that, I'll probably, a couple months later, do another half Ironman. If I do really, really well in Campeche, maybe it'll be the World Half Ironman Championship. If not, it'll just be probably Superior Man down in Duluth. So that's what I've got planned triathlon-wise. What else do we have? Oahu. Mike A, I've never actually been to Oahu. I've been to Kona. I watched the World Championships. Kona was really nice while the Worlds was going on, but it's a pretty desolate island. Maui, I loved. Oh my God, Maui was awesome. Do you eat during the Red River swim? Yeah, we would actually have a nutrition guy that would stop so he'd stop the boat and then stop us, and we would just swim up to the boat every half hour. And how we did a lake swim before that was 8 hours was I timed the nutrition, or I measured out the nutrition so that every half hour is getting basically the perfect amount of nutrition based off of the calories that I knew that I was burning. Hello from Puerto Rico. Hello from Winnipeg. You should come down here and do 70.3 San Juan. I've been thinking about that because Campeche it's a little bit tough to get there. So if Campeche doesn't work out, San Juan is actually in the cards. Pasco. Pasco. Yes, you can eat beer and chocolate when you're tri training big time. Biggest piece of advice for each discipline. Triathlon swimming, go a lot easier than you think you need to. Biking, do a lot more biking than you think you need to. And running, do a lot more biking than you think you need to. Biking a lot is going to help your run legs a lot. Just do some brick workouts, but biking a lot will make you fresher for the run. So it actually helps a lot to bike, like a lot. I think some of the Ironman athletes will have something like 60% of their overall annual training volume as biking. Nice. Ryan, you're welcome for what I do. Thank you for watching. I have a lot of fun doing this, and I have even more fun doing things like this, chatting with you. The comments, these live streams, interacting with everyone on Instagram and Facebook, that's what makes this so much fun. Kona will be my first half. I'd like to do the Mont Tremblant Ironman. I've had some friends that have done it. It's a beautiful course. Oh, you said Ironman? I would really like to do Ironman. There's a couple of things that are stopping me from doing Ironman. Number one is the time. I know that to do well in it, you need to train upwards of 20, 25 hours a week. And when I do step up to a distance, I always like to go in knowing that I'm going to be fairly competitive. So I actually spent 3 years doing sprints, and only sprints, even though I knew I could always complete probably even a half Ironman. But I did only sprints to build up that speed and the ability to do triathlons confidently. Then I did a year of Olympic distance races. That was really easy. I did half Ironmans this past year. And I want to wait until I have enough time to step up to the full Ironman distance and do it competitively. So that's what's holding me back from doing Ironman. Could I do one? I could do one tomorrow. But could I do one well? That I'm not so sure of. I don't know if I've got the time just yet. Might be a few weeks away. Yeah, happy 2017, Richard in the world. Hello from Peru. What kind of, this is a really good question actually here, Ignacio from Peru. What kind of training for mental and emotional training do you do? This is a question that I get a lot. Number one, I'll divide it into two different camps. For burnout. Burnout is a big issue for a lot of triathletes, and how I deal with that is by always having some sort of a goal, and it's always some sort of a new goal, and that goal might be getting faster on the bike, faster on the run, or it might be a race. And I always find that having a goal every 3 to 4 months at least gives me something to work towards, so it doesn't feel like I'm going through the motions. That I find tends to keep me out of burnout. Occasionally, I do just start feeling sluggish from training a lot, and in that case, I just rest for a few days. Now, as far as emotional toughness during a race, that's hard. That is really hard. I have never been in a race, even a 1 mile time trial or a half Ironman or a swim across a lake where I didn't have the voices in my head telling me to slow down. I find that just the more you do it, the faster you'll be able to go. It'll always be tough, but you'll just get faster. No, I've never been to Ireland. Dan Nas, my man. Greetings from London. Greetings from Winnipeg. Thanks, Dan. Oh, what else? Do the half Ironman in Tempe, Arizona in October. That's actually, that doesn't sound like too bad of an idea. What kind of temperature does Tempe get like? I don't do well in the heat. Like I'm fairly big. Like for a 5'8" dude, I'm actually big and stocky. So I don't do so well in the heat. What else do we have? Let's go with some quick ones. Peru is going to have its first Ironman 70.3. Ooh, hello. Hi, Will Stam. What's your fastest ever 5K run? On a track, 1920, which would be like your really only official 5,000 meter time. On a race course, I've done 19 flat. Never beat 19. Hello from Ottawa, Jennifer Jarvis. Hello. Do I know Cedric Boilly? Nope. I know a Danny Boilly. Cycling bowling, check. Beers, check. Yes, get in your beers and chocolate. What is my 9 to 5? Take a look at the Triathlon Taren office tour video that we did, I think about a month ago. And I own and run a social media advertising agency that we just started in September 1st. So there are 3 employees that I've got, and myself, I'm the owner. We do social media advertising for small businesses in Winnipeg. Very exciting thing because I used to be an investment advisor. Found out that what I was doing on the side, which was this channel, was something that I loved. So I went into it and took a risk, sold my investment practice, burned all my suits, said screw the man, got into social media, and now in addition to Triathlon Taren, we also do fun social media content for companies. They pay us to make this stuff. Will Stam, can you do a video with the Try Guy? Try Guy is actually a buddy of mine, and we're talking about doing more collaborations in the future. So yes, how many years of training do you go from average to good as a motivated age grouper? In my case, I probably took about 4 years to go from average to good, if you want to call what I do good. My sprint times are around an hour 07. Olympic was 2:14, and half Ironman was 4:46. There was about 4 years where I was getting into the sport, where I was really aimless, didn't have much coaching, didn't really know anything that I knew about what I talk about on the channel, and around year 4 was when I started getting really comfortable. Happy New Year from Puerto Rico. You guys are everywhere. This is cool. Switzerland. Whoever won the Lumo Run competition? It was 2 people. Where were they? I think it was 2 guys. One was in like Texas, and the other was California or Ohio, something like that. Yeah, they won. How's life? Life is good. Last year was honestly such a fun year. Seeing how much the YouTube channel grew was like, it was way beyond what I thought would ever happen. I've always wanted, since I was like wee little kid, to own a business. I always wanted to, as I got out of business school and had to start wearing suits and thinking about stocks and bonds and mutual funds, it never really felt like me. And this year, when I got out of that and pursued something that was a total dream, being able to make a living off of making fun videos and fun social media content, like that feels so much more like me. Being able to wear hoodies and like drink out of poo mugs. Yeah, life has been good in 2016. It's good. Hello, have you ever been to Germany? Never actually been to anywhere in Europe. Say my name, say my name! .cobros. Am I missing a joke there? I might be missing a joke. My fastest 10K is, I've actually never, wow. I raced a 10K last year and I did it in 40:40. I think I've got like a 39 low, maybe a 38 high in me, but I did a 40:40 in really the only 10K race that I've done flat ever. And yeah, I wasn't super pumped up about that because I was tired. It was at the end of the season. I was a little bit injured. It wasn't good. What's the coldest water that we swim? I once did a race in Banff and it was 13 degrees Celsius and they had to shorten the course. My thought on endless pools. I have never actually swam in an endless pool. A friend of mine who owns a pool company and has swam in an endless pool says that it's like, I don't know, it's better than not swimming at all, but it's also certainly not swimming. Longest race so far, a half Ironman or a 27-kilometer open water swim. Somebody says, what do I use for tracking stats? I'm not a big stats guy. Oddly enough, I run a social media company. I love my iPhone. I love the MacBook. I love the camera gear that we have. But as far as like gadgets and being surrounded by tech and measuring things, I'm more just a purist. What I like that my coach has set up for me is he tells me what work to do, tells me the things to measure, but I don't obsess over the stats day to day. I'm more about just putting in hard work. Yeah, that sounds kind of self-righteous, but I don't know. I kind of just like, I like triathlon and training for triathlon to be a physical and mental experience, not a numbers and math and thinking experience. Hello from Costa Rica. This is incredible. How long should I train for my first sprint try? Train as much as you can. Utah. I love your channel. 58 and just starting. Michael, you are in for a real treat. One of the nice things about triathlon is that you can do it for the rest of your life. And if you get involved with a really good triathlon group, it isn't just about triathlon training. I'm going to move this down. It isn't just about triathlon training. My closest friends, the people that I spent Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve with, are all my triathlon friends because it's so much more about just training. You get a really nice group of athletes to train with. Dana Lee Foreman, any tips on how to build confidence on the bike? I try to ride frequently, but I'm still too afraid to reach for a water bottle or take turns at anything above a snail's pace. Thanks from Texas. Hey, Dana. How to build confidence on the bike? I just did it a lot. That's a tough one. Besides just doing it a lot, I don't know if I have a really good answer for that. I was never super afraid of the bike. Oh, okay, here's something that could be helpful. I was afraid of the water, like straight up afraid of the water all my life. And I was afraid of the water even just getting into the pool when I got into triathlon. I found that the more I did it, like it took probably 3 years of getting a handle on it, that fear went away. So the more that I did it, the less afraid that I got. I hope that that helps on the bike. Swam in 11 degrees Celsius water without a wetsuit. Why would you do that? Your twig and berries would turn into an innie. It's awful. This is a good question. Now, what would I consider the bare minimum average training time per week for a long distance triathlon? So more of a swim than a half Ironman. Okay, I'm actually contemplating this a lot. I'm thinking about how to create Triathlon Taren online courses that help people get basically a minimum amount of training in a week. I'm thinking through this as I'm saying. A minimum amount of training in through the week that gets them a really good result. So, like, what is the minimum effective dose to do well in the sport, and what are the absolutely critical things that you need to know to do well in the sport, and then building content and courses around that. Because what I've found is if you read like the Triathlon Training Bible, it's so dense and it would take 30 hours a week to train. I want to do a much smaller course that can get people started. Now, what's the actual answer? It depends. Depends where you're starting from. I would say that in my case, the minimum effective dose to do well in a half Ironman or a little bit longer would be 3 swims a week. You could probably get away with 2, 3 to 4 bikes a week, and at least 2 runs a week. 1 brick run and 1 long run. I don't stalk anyone on Strava, actually. Okay, my typical training week. My typical training week is, number 1, I commute by bike an hour every day. I swim 3 times a week. Each swim is either somewhere in between an hour 15 and an hour 45 or 2 hours. So we're looking at a total of, say, 10 hours right there. Right now I've got 5 runs per week. 3 of those runs are only about 25 minutes during the week. One of them is about 25 minutes after a bike workout on the weekend, and then one is an hour and a half long run. So 5 runs totaling about 3 hours. So we are up to 13 hours. I do 3 bike workouts a week, one being a longer one on the weekend, 2 shorter ones on the weekend. So it's 4 hours, 17 hours. And then I do strength 3 times a week, lasting about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So right now we're looking at about somewhere around 19 hours a week. If you're a purist, what do we do? If you're a purist, how do you conduct comparisons on gadgets? For example, the HRV Zoom any better than the HRV app on Phoenix 3? This is a really good question, I think, because one thing I'll say about the gadget reviews that I do, in a lot of them I mention that if you're looking for comparisons between a bunch and like accuracy, DC Rainmaker is your guy. I try to approach all gadget reviews that I do from the standpoint of, should you even buy it if you don't like gadgets? And is it easy enough for somebody who doesn't have the patience to go through gadget testing to actually use? So that's kind of how I try to approach it. I don't tend to compare the accuracy with gadgets. I more tend to talk about the usability of them. Are they convenient? Are they well designed? Are they easy to use? Are they easy to understand? Do they seem accurate enough and consistent enough to get readings off of? I hope that helps. Favorite post-race celebration food? I like sweets. I'm a big sweets person. I do have to eat gluten-free, so that always makes the post-race celebrations fairly lame. Am I a vegetarian? This is a touchy subject. I always try to avoid this. I rarely talk about it. I would say that 90% of the time I eat vegan. I eat vegan, dairy-free, well, dairy-free is vegan. I eat vegan and gluten-free. The reason for the gluten-free is that my dad is a celiac. I've been tested. I am a little bit allergic to wheat, but I just feel better. I lost about 15 pounds and found that I recovered much, much quicker when I got off of gluten. And the vegan, I have a very long history of heart problems in my family. And I've done a lot of research and found that aspects of the vegan lifestyle would be helpful for my overall heart health. It's not something that I follow from I'm drawing a blank here. I don't do it because of the ethics and morals of veganism. While I do think that those are fantastic reasons to be a vegan, if somebody, like a friend, wants to go out for wings, I will go out for wings. If my dad wants to have me over and he wants to have bacon at breakfast, I'll do that. But at home, when we can control it, and it's convenient, we'll always eat vegan. Richard in the world, I have a fantastic answer for struggling to find the motivation to train alone. Don't do it. I rarely train alone. All my swims are either with masters or with a swim group that we have. My bikes, yeah, my indoor bikes are alone right now, but I will always go towards biking with a group. My runs are often with a group. Group training is by far the best training. You motivate each other and you take your mind off of the training itself. What do I think about the tracker move? Never actually tried that. It sounds interesting. John Paul Jerez, I see you have a ring on. Any tips for balancing your love of tri with your love for a significant other? My wife dreads summers. Early mornings. I get up at 4:30 every morning and do most of my training in the morning. I'll give you a sample of my day-to-day life. I get up at 4:30, I have my tea, I have my breakfast, I write down in my journal things that I want to accomplish that day, what happened the day before. I have gotten into meditating this year, and I find that that helps me stay less stressed out with work and I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. Then I head for a workout. The workout usually starts at about 6, goes from 6 to say 7:30, 7:45, shower, bike into work, and I get into work around 8:15, 8:30. I am not a late night person kind of guy, so I try to work a very good quality, like 8 to 10 hour day. Good quality, being very thoughtful about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what the best way to do it is. At 6:30, I leave, usually go for a run, strength workout very quickly, 20 to 25 minutes, and get home for about 6:45, 7, and in bed at 9, 9:30. So, just by that math, yeah, I have a very good 2.5 hours at home with my wife. If she weren't so understanding, I'd have a tough time. But early mornings are when I do all my training. Now, as far as bilateral breathing goes, okay, I do this a lot. You guys noticing that? I'm a real handsy talker. I didn't notice that until I see it in the reflection. Bilateral breathing, force yourself to do it because it's going to even out your stroke. Don't worry about it a whole lot when you get out into open water. Breathe on whatever side you need to. Why I recommend learning bilateral breathing is because when you get out into open water, you don't know if you're going to be able to breathe on your left, on your right, or if you're going to have to switch it up. So learn both, and if you're comfortable on both sides, then it doesn't matter which way the waves or the feet or the sun is, you've got the option. Breathing on one side, is it faster? I actually find that I'm slower breathing on one side. Love my video about hanging. I know, like, I am such a proponent of hanging. If there is one thing that I would suggest anyone with any sort of shoulder tightness or upper body tightness has, like, try hanging. Watch the hanging video. It is crazy good. Since I live in the Slurpee capital of the world, I do. Which flavor is my favorite? Which flavor is my favorite? Oh, I know this. I know the answer to this. Like strawberry kiwi? Dr. Pepper's not bad. I haven't had a Slurpee in a long time. I don't have a ton of sugar anymore because I used to be a big fat man. So I don't eat a lot of sugar anymore. But I think it was strawberry kiwi. I always like the sweets. I'm a sucker for the sweets. Who's my favorite professional triathlete? Ooh, my friend Nicole Walker. She is, for sure. She just got her pro card in the last couple days. She won the North American age group Ironman amateur championships in Texas last year. She's got her pro card this year. I think she's competing in half Ironmans this year. She's the best, and she's awesome. Keep an eye out for her. Question number 3, Pasco, you are cashing in today. More questions, people, more questions. Any plans to do a full Ironman in the future? Yeah, I mentioned that just a little while ago. I'd love to. One of my goals is to make it to Kona and legitimately qualify for it. I know that the amount of time for it isn't really conducive to starting a company and qualifying for Kona. So it's a few years away. What I'm doing right now is building a base of speed at long distance racing so that when I do end up going up to the full distance, I've got a big base of volume and speed to work off of. You don't do triathlon but still enjoy my videos? Really? I do triathlon and sometimes I look at my videos and think I'm an ass. How many hours do I sleep per night? In between 7 and 8, almost like religiously. I love my sleep. And I'm very protective of it. So yeah, pretty much always 7 to 8. My favorite discipline. That's changed over the years. It used to be the run, and then it became the swim when I learned how to swim and started feeling comfortable swimming. Now I think I'll tell you what my very favorite workout is. It is a 1 hour and 10-minute group ride with 4 sprint sessions outdoors. So that is my favorite workout right now. It has all the aspects of everything that I like. It's crazy intense, like damn near puking. Makes you tougher, but it's also really like there's a lot of camaraderie. We go for coffee after and we talk about how we all think we're heroes, so that's cool. Hey, it's Danielle. Hey, it's Danielle. How long have you been eating vegan? Most of the time. I started eating vegan most of the time in May last year. Tried to go vegan once but went back to chicken nuggets. It's a touchy subject. You should do a video about it. Yeah, it's a very touchy subject. Nutrition is a really personal thing for people, and what works for me doesn't necessarily work for everyone else. Some people do really well on a paleo diet. I tend to do best on a gluten-free diet. I do equally as well on a paleo diet and a vegan diet. What works for some people doesn't work for others. I'm thinking about doing a video. I think that I definitely will do this actually with what I eat during a day, and not necessarily have the video be about veganism, because I think that there's a lot of lessons with what I eat throughout the day that can apply to overall health and why I eat what I eat to help for training. Why are the Germans that good at Ironmans? I do not know. I know that the Germans are, there's that finger again, making good points here. I know that Germans tend to focus a lot on the bike, and there's a really big bike focus in the longer you go distance-wise. So they might be better just because of the bike. They're also, like, they just tend to be, what I find, I get the impression that Germans are very mentally tough when they get up to triathlon. I don't know why that is. What do I think about yoga for recovery? I think that yoga is fantastic. Don't do it if you're looking at being a better triathlete. Don't do it at the expense of triathlon training. If yoga is going to make you more tired, you're going to be more tired. Doesn't matter if it's yoga or strength training. Don't add on things that will make you so tired that by the time you get to your triathlon training that you're fatigued already. Because that's how you get injured, that's how you get overtrained. Dana, what is the most thing I find helpful in aid station volunteer? Not much. I actually tend to get very grumpy in my head when I'm racing. Best thing is just like the good job, keep going. Even if somebody said nothing, that'd be fine. What I find unhelpful is when I'm very clearly suffering and they say you're doing great. I actually had a friend that was kind of watching out for me in a race that I was completely bonking in, and we were going past an aid station at the same time, and I was hobbling because I was cramping, and the aid station volunteer said, "You're doing great, good job," and he actually stopped and said, "Don't talk to him. Just leave him alone." So that's something. Favorite meal, snack, and a healthy meal? Well, if health is not an issue, gummy bears. I had a lot of gummy bears on New Year's Eve. Healthy meal, pretty much whatever my wife makes. She makes really good food. She keeps me well fed. Is 13 too old to start triathlon? I started triathlons at 27. Start anytime, buddy. How do I find boredom of training? I mentioned this just now, fighting the boredom of training alone, and how do I overcome it? Find a group. Find a group, find a group, find a group. Group is the best thing you could do. There you go. You're right, Dara. Yeah, Henry Schumann started late. He killed it this year. It was awesome. I do think that, yeah, you're probably pretty close. Top male triathletes could do probably a 2:20 marathon. Maybe I would actually, okay, we'll do it this way. I think that Javier Gomez does a half Ironman marathon, half marathon in 1:08, and he's in a race, so you take off maybe a minute. His cold half marathon would be something like 1:07. Double that and add a few minutes. Yeah, you're looking at a sub 2:20 marathon for really, really good triathletes. Am I an Alistair guy or a Johnny guy? Alistair won me this year when he picked up Johnny at that finish line. That was so cool. Good on him. Shoveling does not count after a training session for a brick workout. Shoveling after a training session counts for nothing besides just pounding you into a pulp. The best proportion of workouts for swim, bike, or run? You seem to swim a lot. I probably seem to swim a lot because I found that on Instagram is really, well, two things. Number one, it's easier to take pictures at a pool. Second thing is blue photos of the pool tend to be really popular on my Instagram, so I make more of them. I would say proportion of workouts for swim, bike, run could be as little as 10 to 15% for the swim, somewhere around 30 to 40% for the run, and 50 to 60% for the bike. Heavy on bike. I bike a ton. You just don't see it because it's hard to take photos with my iPhone while I'm on the bike. What food works for you during a longer race? Me, in particular, in a longer race like a half Ironman, my nutrition is gels, chews, and one bar on the bike. I want to get a mixture of really quick release nutrition, and then also a little bit of solid food. And then on the run, I only take gels. The quicker I can digest it, and gels are basically already digested, the better I do. Clark S., love the YouTube channel. No questions right now. Thanks. I will keep it up. I've got big things in mind. Okay, here's one thing I want to ask you. I'm going to take a break from the Q&A, but I've got a Q for you to A. I am considering doing a vlog. I want to challenge myself to create more content, but I also don't want to give up all of the tips that I do. What if I did a triathlon training vlog, a daily vlog that went through and followed all of my triathlon training, said what the workout was, why we did it, so that from that you basically get a workout every day when you're watching it. And then as I learn things and as I think about things, I still give those tips in the vlog. I just think that it is a nice personal way to interact with everyone. What do you think about that? Radio silence. Nobody cares about a vlog, apparently. Think about that. Tell me what you all think about vlogs. Do many of my swim... Okay, let me know about the vlogs. I'll get back to the Q&A. Do many of my swim workouts feature sprint sets, or are you generally doing longer distance sets? Depends on the time of year. Throughout the year, we change between sprint sets and longer distance. There's no real answer. Right now, we're kind of in a transition mode where we're graduating from 50 and 100 meter sprint sets up to like 100s, 200s, 400s, 500s. My favorite workout gear, new set of shoes. Or my new Cervelo S3. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Love to see vlogs. Okay. My opinion, you should do a second channel for the vlogs because it will drown out your other content that's more likely there. Not a bad point. Do it. Yes. Super motivating for us. Love the vlogs. Do a vlog because it's motivating. How do I treat and prevent runner's knees? Lots of ice. Lots and lots of ice. Lots of maintenance. Lots of foam rolling. If you feel just little tiny bits of tightness, address it before it becomes an issue. Maintenance and strength workout, massages, foam rolling, getting a spiky ball into all your tight spots before they become injuries is just as important as doing the actual training. I like the Try Guys one. Try Guy Lucas is a buddy, yeah. He does some good vlogs, eh? No time for vlogs. Love your mug. I rarely hear that. Dog dig. The Try Guy comes in. If you guys don't know the Try Guy, Lucas, my buddy, he's killing it over on his channel. I think the easiest way to find it is, well, he's right there in the comments. The Try Guy, no spaces. And he does a vlog, killing it on YouTube. It's the Try Guy. Vlog sounds awesome. Would your coach be upset that you'd be giving away free workouts, or would you charge for it? I don't know. Pat's pretty easygoing. I give Pat a lot of my review units when I'm done with them. I think it's a fair trade. Have I ever tried liquid only on the bike? Yes, I've tried liquid only on the bike and I bonk. I do a lot better with some solids in me. Oh, what I did actually try all liquid for was Hammer Gel Perpetuum. I used all liquid for the lake swim that I did a few years ago. That Hammer Gel Perpetuum is like a solid food, but it's in liquid form, and that really helped. $50.50 on the blog. It's fair. That is fair. That's why I asked. The vlog. Vlog idea. Bike train. Workout of the day would be nice. Second channel. Do it for a week. See how it goes. Ankle stretching for mega stiff ankles. How much should I do, and is there anything else that helps? A lot of ankle stretching, a lot of balls, a lot of like really hard soft balls, hard balls, spiky balls into all around your calves, even up here, starting in the quads and the hamstrings. A lot of tightness can start from there. Just work out and keep everything loose that you need to. What's my opinion on minimalist running shoes? I use minimalist running shoes, but I also use maximal running shoes with Hoka's. I like them both. The key to any running shoe, period, it doesn't matter whether it's minimal, maximal, stability, overpronating, underpronating, arch support, you have to start with a healthy foot. Number one. So something that bothers me with running stores is when they say, oh, you need this shoe and your injuries should go down. That's not the case. If you're still running on a shoe or a foot that isn't strong, you're going to get injured. There's no way around it. So the approach that I take is I actually have low arches, and I've had plantar fascia, I've had shin splints, I've had all those. The best I've ever performed is when I do regular rolling work on my feet, I do regular strengthening work like curling up my toes, ankle flexibility, overall flexibility. If I do that, it doesn't really matter what shoes I wear. I perform a lot better and I'm injury free. The Try Guy is cool. Try Guy is cool. You heard of the YouTuber The Try Guy? The Try Guy is right in the comments here, Jackson. He's copied a lot of your ideas. I don't think so. I don't know. Lucas is pretty good. He's got his own style on it. He actually puts out more videos than I do. And I think we're going to work together a lot more. I like him. Try Guy's good. Ooh, if I do a vlog, post my training plan so we can do the challenge together. I like it, Tilo. I like it. I want to do a half Ironman this year in Morden. Try Guy? No, I've never. Well, I had a disastrous race in Morden, and I get bad vibes from going back to Morden. Have I read Born to Run? Born to Run is actually one of my most gifted books. I love Born to Run from the standpoint of A, it's a running book. It's really neat to hear about the running. B, it got people out of the mindset of just accepting whatever a running store tells them they should be wearing. C, I think it makes a bigger comment on not accepting what general society hands down to you and questioning what is best for you as opposed to what is told to be best for you. I like Born to Run for a lot of reasons. Favorite book? I got lots of favorite books. Most impactful book in my life was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That was a big one. Yeah. Where do I see the website going? The website right now, I'm going to be honest, it is ugly. It is very ugly. I put it together myself. I see the website becoming a place that essentially I can turn Triathlon Taren into a hub, or triathlontaren.com into a hub where I can't give a full training plan or a full course on the YouTube channel. As I start building out full training plans, full courses of how to swim, how to bike, how to run, it's got to live somewhere that isn't YouTube. And I think that triathlontaren.com will be that place. Right now, it's ugly. I know it. Yeah. If I always wait until everything is perfect to launch, Triathlon Taren wouldn't exist. Go back to my earlier videos. They were fucking awful. Like, awful. So I got it up, and it'll be a constant game of improvement. We're doing it. It's right, the Try Guy. We got a secret collab coming up right now. Beforehand, great motivation. That is a good idea. Do a live stream workout once a month, like a bike session on the trainer, spin class. I've thought about it, Mike, but I like to train. I like to separate training and Triathlon Taren a little bit, just from the standpoint that I have a really hard time doing both. And I think that I would either get really bad video footage or I'd have a bad workout. I'm thinking about how I do it for the vlog and make it easy so that I can have a good workout and still do a good vlog. It's not a bad idea. Got to think about it. How about The Iron War? Have I read those? Absolutely. Great book. Do I use Zwift? No, I do not. I use PowerTap P1 power pedals, and I put whatever Netflix is on. My bike workouts are handed down to me by the coach, and I kind of like focusing on, sort of like focusing on the pain, and focusing on the work, and concentrating on making sure that I'm getting in the right workout. If I thought about using the website to create a message board, it's popped into my mind. What do you think? You think it's a good place? I like your early videos. You're harsh with yourself. There are a few channels dedicated. Shikamaru? Are you talking about the ones that have like the gray background in behind and the terrible audio? Because those were bad. Those were really bad. I think at around video number 20 and 30, they started getting better, but holy smokes, I look at those early ones and they're, not so good. What do I eat for breakfast pre-workout? I'm actually going to do a video on that. I'm changing that up right now, so stay tuned. Some of them are quite humorous, by the way, the early ones. Yeah, humorous in a sense of like cringeworthy. Jennifer Jarvis, any female triathletes on YouTube you would recommend to follow? I actually don't think that there are enough. Well, frankly, it works out really well for me and the Tri Guy. We're a couple of the only triathletes that do regular content on YouTube. I like it because it's a really big opportunity for both of us, but it's a shame that there isn't a bigger triathlon community on YouTube. So no, I don't have any female triathletes on YouTube that I follow. There's a lot on Instagram. Lots and lots of really good Instagram triathletes. Yes, I still feel the same way about the P1 power pedals as I did in my review. I love them. Like, there is nothing about them that has changed from my review. They're awesome. Power meter or upgrade stock wheels? Stock wheels. Upgrade the stock wheels for sure. In order of best bang for your buck, you can get the same speed advantage from an aero helmet as you can from wheels. Helmet costs less. So in order, aero helmet, wheels, and then once you start getting really serious and you want to ramp up your training, power meter. P1s are awesome. Have you ever read Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg? No, I heard about that recently. Oh, who told me about that? I can't remember, but that was good. How often should you have a rest day? Depends on the person, Emily. I might only have a rest day like once every 4 or 5 weeks. My rest days now are just a day where I do a light swim, but that means I've built up to that over 7 years. So some people need a rest day 3 times a week. It all depends on what your body's telling you. If you feel beat down and like you're borderlining on injury, you need a rest day. Matt Artur, Happy New Year from New Zealand. You guys are all everywhere. Totally off topic, just about content. How about injury and recovery prevention? I've started dabbling a little bit more in injury and recovery prevention. One thing that you probably won't want to hear is I tend to scratch my own itch with videos. So if I'm doing a lot of injury prevention videos, that means that I'm not training. So you're not going to get a lot of training videos if I'm doing a lot of injury prevention videos, because the ideas for my videos come from, oh, I went through this today. Will other people like it? So, yeah. Could do more injury prevention, but that might mean that I'm injured. Favorite tri-watch, hands down, Garmin 920 XT. Any thoughts on podcasts? We've actually got a collaboration coming up soon with a few podcasters. I like to have my podcasts, I actually don't listen to a lot of triathlon podcasts all the time, regularly. The odd time I will. I listen to my podcasts on my commute into work and away from work. And the podcasts that I listen to are very much like big thinker, like meditation, overall health, mental health, news, business. And I like to use that commute to work and the podcast time to get away from thinking about like business directly and get away from thinking about triathlon directly and more thinking about like being a better version of Taren, if that makes sense. But there's a lot of podcasters that I like. Zen and the Art of Triathlon. Brett is good. The Real Starkey, if you want to be a little bit more edgy. They're really good. I did appear on Try Swim Coach's podcast. Lots good out there. Did I ever get the DJI Mavic drone for post? No. Oh, Best Buy is really irking me right now. I've paid for it. I paid for it like 6 weeks ago, and it ain't here. That really bugs me. It's supposed to be here. What is your YouTube upload schedule? Was it Saturday morning? Saturday morning around, I don't know, whenever we finish our long run is when I post it. And then Monday around 2 to 3. Any cool subscriber events on the horizon? More ways like this to interact. You tell me. Do you like these YouTube live events? How much do you like them? How often would you want to see them? How often could you tune into them? I'll do them as long as you find it fun, because that means it's fun for me. So yeah, comment with how much you'd want these. The Phoenix 3HR is a pretty sexy watch too. I've never tried it though. Favorite workout music. I've got away from doing workout music because I train in a group so much. When I'll still use music for a running race, like a half marathon. And in that case, I've got the same playlist that I had 7 years ago. And I tend to focus on really, really upbeat music, but it could be hard rock, it could be techno, it could be rap, but like really, really 190 beats a minute kind of stuff. Bi-monthly live events, yes, I love them. Quarterly, this is awesome, probably once a month, but it's fun only on occasion. Dog dig, prefer working out with friends, 100% with friends. Yeah. Quarterly. Okay, the comments are slowing down here. We're coming up on an hour. I will say, if you've got any last questions, daily. Daily. I hate you, Try Guy. Daily YouTube lives. This is a lot of work. Okay, if you've got any last questions, get them in now. I'll answer 2. 2 last questions if you got them. While we're talking about that, how good is this mug? Is that good? That is awesome. Call me a liar. I dare you. I'm going to hang out just in case there are more questions. If there aren't questions, it is factually accurate. Okay, question number 1 that I'm going to answer. What are my thoughts on junk miles? Work as hard as possible or just get out there? I have basically 3 workouts a week, 3 runs a week that are junk miles that my coach is starting to incorporate just to get my overall weekly training volume up. They're runs of about 20 to 25 minutes. I found them to be immensely helpful because my body is building a bigger tolerance for increased volume. So in theory, they're junk miles because they're really low heart rate, they're really short, they're not intense at all. But the purpose of them is to work in the overall training plan and get my volume up. So I like that. Cool down recovery routine. Post-training nutrition and cool down recovery routine. I'll say I don't have a cool down or recovery routine. I do something that takes about 2 to 3 minutes at the end of every single workout, whether it's just one quiet lap in the pool, 3 minutes quiet on the trainer, or like just a really light run lap, or like just kind of work things out. But I have no real set cool down recovery routine. Post-training nutrition depends on the day. I don't worry about it a ton. If I've done a really big workout and I'm at home, I'll tend to have a big shake with a lot of stuff in it. Like, yeah, so much that I think I'm going to do a video on my post-workout shake. That's it. There's 2 questions. That's an hour. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. I'll continue to do these more regularly because this is probably one of the funnest things that I do, interacting with you. The pace is really, really intense and right here. So thanks to everyone. If holy smokes, this is, yeah. Thank you all for the live. Best place to interact with me day to day typically is Instagram, Triathlon Taren. Check me out there, and stay tuned to the channel. I've got a lot of good stuff in mind. So Happy New Year, everyone. Good luck. What do I say at the end of my videos? Happy and hard training, and good luck in your next triathlon.